Okay, okay. Man, get off of the table of contents. And zoom out. I didn't have time to. We've been over 15 minutes. Why don't you lie down? I mean, hopefully by the end of me reading this book, I have a microphone. Hopefully. We'll see. Technically, I do. Probably gonna need to get an adapter. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna have to start bringing me a straw. Make sure my chest straight. Got a little gas. Okay. I'll get some cream for my lips. So I don't get tongue twisted. Just a heads up. I be writing in my books, so if you see any writing or anything like that, don't mind me. Anyway, all right, let's get started. We have, let me scroll down. 7 choices for a happy and successful life. The power of your attitude. And this book is written by Stan Toller. Listen, whatever his last name is Toller. This is my inside flap. This is what I wrote to myself when I bought the book. It was a Valentine's Day gift, actually. It says, I purchased this book for myself for Valentine's Day. I purchased the book on Sunday, February 11th, 2024, from my local Publix supermarket. Ironically, today is February 14th, 2024. With that being said, happy Valentine's Day. I love you. Hashtag beyond infinity. I pray that you receive all the desires of your heart. I pray for your continued safety, success, and serenity. And then if you see these hashtags, choose hope, choose humility, choose gratitude, choose generosity, choose compassion, choose joy, and choose perseverance. We will hear about those, read about those in the book. That's where I got it from. And then this is obviously his copyright page, publishing page, things of that. Copyright disclaimer. Don't come over here with it. This is the 2-page to his granddaughter, Clara Jane. And then, of course, we have the contents. The first one is why you need this book. We'll be reading that today. I think it's like a 2-page, like a front page and a back page. And then the second, it's more like a little introduction, the gift of a great attitude. He broke this book down into 3 parts. Part 1 is the power of your attitude. And in part 1, he's going to talk about the power of your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your identity. Then let's just call it subcategory 2, the power of your words. Your words become your reality. Part 3, section 3, the power of your actions. So let me see if I could zoom in just to, no, my bad. How is that? Is that, okay, that's better. My bad. The power of your actions. Your actions determine your character. Subcategory 4, the power of your habits. Your habits predict your future. And then subcategory 5, the power of choice. Your choices change your life. So that's all a part of part 1. Then we go to part 2, and he's going to talk about these 7 choices with the power to transform your life. That's where we got the hashtags in the beginning, front flap. Believe it will all work out. choose hope. Don't take yourself too seriously. Choose humility. Count your blessings. Choose gratitude. Give more than you take. Choose generosity. Be kind to everyone you meet. Choose compassion. And then celebrate life. Choose joy. Keep going no matter what. Choose perseverance. And then in conclusion, part 3, becoming a positive person. Rebooting your brain for a positive outlook. Change your future by renewing your mind. Leveraging the mind-body connection, which is part 14 or section 14, which means improve your attitude by improving your daily habits. Section 15, becoming a positive influence. Help yourself by helping others. And then he concludes the book with you can, and then he has some notes in the back. Or I believe that's, let me see what notes. Yeah. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, notes. I'll take a picture of it. It's thesaurus in a way, sort of, but I'll take a picture so you can see. All right, I'm just looking over here OBS to make sure I keep up with, like, the scroll. All right, let's start with why you need this book. Many people are trapped in negative thinking that produces fear, failure, and unhappiness. Though they may long for greater achievements and better relationships and happier lives, they're mirrored in a spiral of negative thinking, complaining, and self-fulfilling prophecies. Sadly, many give up, even wishing for change, and settle for a life that's boring and unfulfilling. If that describes you, I have great news. It doesn't have to be that way. The secret to a happier and more successful life is not to change your circumstances. You often can't, or to control what others do, because you never can. It's to change the one thing over which you have absolute authority: your attitude. It's been proven time and time again that people with a positive outlook are happier and more successful and have greater career satisfaction and a better self-image. The reason for this is simple. Your attitude has incredible power to shape your life. Negative thinkers see negativity, think negative thoughts, and develop negative habits. Not surprisingly, they feel worse about themselves, enjoy less success, and experience less joy in life. Positive thinkers see possibilities, choose to pursue them, and more easily bounce back from failure. They have more energy and hope and encounter more opportunities. Both type of thinkers live in the same world. But those who have a positive attitude leverage a power that enables them to move through life with greater joy and satisfaction. Through the pages of this book, I'll share with you the lessons I've learned about positive psychology and the power of a positive attitude to transform your life for the better. Many of these lessons came from the most positive thinker I've ever known, my dad. Though he passed away when I was just 11 years old, he modeled for me the 7 critical choices that have shaped my entire life. I want to share those insights with you through this book. Through this book, you will A, recognize the incredible, often unnoticed power of attitude in every area of life. B, be inspired to believe that change is possible regardless of the circumstances. C, be confident of your ability to implement change through simple, practical strategies. D, leverage the power of positive mental choices. And E, gain courage for dealing with the disappointment and failure. F, become a happier, more successful person. If you're thinking that's too good to be true, let me assure you it's not. This isn't magic or wishful thinking. I'll share with you the proven principles that have been tested not only by my own experience, but by a host of scientific research. These chapters will provide real-life examples of the power of attitude, create a sense of urgency in you for personal change, demonstrate the positive effect of choosing joy, gratitude, kindness, hope, and other virtues, teach practical strategies for implementing personal life. I'm eager to share these life lessons with you. I believe you have the power to make positive life choices and choose a positive outlook and transform your life from stuck to spectacular. You can do this. The gift of a great attitude. I was born in Welch, West Virginia, a small city in the heart of Appalachia. I believe that's Appalachia. Welch is the seat of McDowell County, the most productive coal mining area in the state. When I was a child, McDowell County mines, such as Coalwood, Flat Top, Pocahontas, and Williams, produced millions of tons of coal each year. I know that. setting records for the entire nation. If you've seen the movie October Sky, which is set just down the road in Coalwood, you've had a glimpse of the place where I came from. Our family, okay. Our family lived in a tiny 3-bedroom home nestled against Baileysville Mountain. Not surprisingly, my father, William Aaron Toller, was a coal miner. He went to work underground every day. And some of my earliest memories are of Dad coming home, his face streaked with sweat, and his clothing caked with coal dust. During the winter months, he would leave the house long before sunrise and work until after dark. He would go for days, sometimes weeks at a time, without seeing daylight. Dad worked hard every day to provide a living for Mom, my 2 little brothers, Mark and Terry, and me. Though McDowell County was rich in resources, it wasn't a prosperous place. Quite the opposite, in fact. Welch was the poorest city in America at that time. After John F. Kennedy visited the area while running for president in 1960, he noted, quote, McDowell County mines more coal than it ever has in its history. Probably more coal than any county in the United States. And yet, there are more people getting surplus food packages in McDowell County than any county in the United States. To say that our family was poor, as we understand poverty today, wouldn't adequately convey the conditions in which we lived. Excuse my finger here. Our tiny home had limited electricity and no running water. We carried water from the well every day, and our bathroom was a 1-seat privy located out back. Our heat came from a single pot-bellied stove fed with coal from the same mine where Dad worked. For electronic entertainment, my brothers and I would catch the black and white TV in the furniture section of the Wyoming Company Store during our weekly visits to town. Mining has always been a dangerous business, and it was especially so in those days. In the 1940s, more than 1,100 miners or 1,100 miners lost their lives on the job every single year. My dad had his back broken 3 times in the mines before he was 30 years old. And he was beginning to suffer from the dreaded black lung disease. I can still remember him sitting in our small kitchen during the evening, coughing up black coal dust into a snow-white handkerchief while my brothers and I played around his feet. Yet Dad was both a hard worker and a forward thinker. And he realized that things wouldn't improve for our family as long as he kept working in the mines. The coal industry had peaked after World War II, and McDowell County was losing jobs and people every year. Physically, the work was demanding and dangerous, and Dad saw that it was time to get out. So our family moved to Ohio in search for a better life. We settled in the city of Columbus with high hopes for a brighter future. Things didn't turn around right away, however, and Dad went several months without finding work. As a result, our family went from poor to destitute, and we depended on the generosity of Fifth Avenue Church for survival. Those good people fed and clothed us for months until Dad was able to find a job. I'll be forever grateful for the kindness they showed to my family. Eventually, Dad found employment with a construction company, and we were all elated. The whole family was excited to have more money for food and occasional special treats. We ate a lot of pinto beans and fried bologna, but we were happy. Dad had a job, Mom was content, and my brothers and I were doing well in our new school. Everything seemed back to normal. Actually, better than the normal we'd known up to that point. Then one Monday morning, Dad went to work and never returned home. Having escaped the harrowing dangers of the coal mine, he was electrocuted in a tragic on-the-job accident. Our family was devastated. At the tender age of 11, I was thrust into a leadership role in my family. Mom had her hands more than full trying to provide for us, and I helped out as best as I could by looking after my brothers. My father's death had a profound impact on my mind and heart. I had a strong faith in God even as a child, but losing my father seemed to be only the latest in a string of family disasters, as I'll share in more detail later. I was deeply shaken. Several years later, I headed off to college, attending what's now Ohio Christian University. I was excited to begin life on my own, but still felt heaviness in my spirit. Without realizing it, I'd developed a negative outlook on life. And who could have blamed me? Life had been less than fair during my first 18 years. Not many good things had come my way, and I no longer expected them to. One day at college, I was having lunch in the cafeteria with a newfound friend by the name of John C. Maxwell. You may know John as an internationally recognized expert in the field of leadership and the author of dozens of best-selling books on the subject. But that day, He was just a college senior who'd taken me, a lowly freshman, under his wing. John's father, Dr. Melvin Maxwell, was president of the college, and he noticed us sitting together at lunch and stopped by the table. "How would you fellows like to skip classes tomorrow?" he asked. Naturally, we were all ears. Both of us were up for anything that would provide a legitimate excuse to get out of school. Dr. Maxwell invited us to attend a positive mental attitude rally being held the next day in Dayton. We eagerly agreed to go, though for my part, it was mostly as a way to get off campus for the day. I had like a sneeze and a burp at the same time. It was dangerous. Man, that was so dangerous. The next morning, we crowded into the University of Dayton Arena, brand new at the time, to hear some of the greatest inspirational speakers of the day. It was a thrilling experience to hear the likes of W. Clement Stone, who popularized the line, "What the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve," and Earl Nightingale, who spoke thrillingly on Russell Conwell's theme, "Acres of Diamonds." We heard the great Zig Ziglar, who spoke about the fact that if you put garbage into your mind, you'll get garbage out. The capstone of the day was the last speaker, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the author of the well-known book, The Power of Positive Thinking. He opened my mind to fresh new possibilities and deeply impacted my life. I'd attended the event mostly on a lark, but what I heard truly inspired me. That rally marked the beginning of a profound change in me, for it was there that I discovered the incredible power of one's attitude upon behavior, happiness, future prospects, relationships, everything in life. As we made our way back to campus, I was mostly silent, thinking about the many things I'd heard. For the next several weeks, I immersed myself in the principles I'd been introduced to at the rally. I was dealing with lingering effects of difficult things in my background. The death of my father, trying to be the leader in my home, helping my mom and my two younger brothers, my poverty-stricken upbringing, plus the current stress of becoming an adult and seeking a career. It all seemed overwhelming. Yet I realized I was facing a critical choice. I could either allow these difficulties to dominate my life, causing me to be pessimistic, negative, and bitter, or I could choose to have a positive mental attitude that would set a new direction for my future. I could see there was no middle ground between the two. We create our future. for better or worse, by choosing our outlook. Your attitude really does have that much power in your life. I chose to have a positive attitude despite having lost my father at a young age and having grown up in abject poverty. That choice has made all the difference for me. I've had a successful career and a fantastic marriage. Been privileged to be called dad by two great boys. And been blessed with two beautiful daughters-in-law and 5 grandchildren. Plus, I enjoyed a quality of life my dad never experienced. Realizing those blessings, I'm convinced that none of this would have been possible had I not had the courage to choose a positive attitude and a vibrant faith early in my life. The same can be true for you. I realize you may not be a young person just starting out in life. You've lived longer, had harder knocks, and perhaps entered the second, third, or fourth quarter of your life. You may read my story and think, that's nothing. I've suffered far worse. I have no doubt that's true. Yet, no matter what stage of life you're in, or what your circumstances may be, you can create a brighter future by harnessing the incredible power of a positive attitude. Is this simplistic happy talk? Not at all. As we'll discover, your thoughts have incredible power. Power you're not fully aware of. They literally become reality, shaping your present and your future. When you make the 7 positive choices outlined in this book, you'll experience an amazing change in how you feel, your energy level, your motivation, and your circumstances. When you take control of your attitude, you take control of your life and create a better tomorrow. Over the months and years that followed my decision to choose a positive attitude, I reflected upon the things I'd heard at that rally in Dayton. And I began to see I wasn't the only member of my family who'd chosen to have a positive outlook. As I thought about my dad, which I did nearly every day, I realized he was one of the most optimistic, positive thinking people I'd ever known. Those speakers like Zig Ziglar and Norman Vincent Peale had provided terminology for my positive outlook. Dad had modeled it for the 11 years we had together. I'd gained my positive attitude from him, though it was nearly choked out of me when he passed away. I determined never to let the great gift my father had given me slip away. To help me remember and hold on, I began to practice, which I've continued to this day. One of Dad's few possessions was an old Timex watch. Years ago, those rugged, inexpensive timepieces were marketed with the slogan, quote, "It takes a licking and keeps on ticking." Oh, I'll be right back. Get my shoes. That is Mr. Goa. I'll be right back. Get a light. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me see. Let me go check anyway. He seemed to have stopped. Maybe he was just turning himself over. Let me see, because I don't hear him anymore. Oh, I got stood up. Oh, I needed to stretch. And I'm almost finished too. I think it was only going to page 14, right? Okay, he was grinding and he stopped. I don't know what happened. Look, I'm like, let's proceed. Okay. Let me see. Old time. Okay. The slogan. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. That motto seemed like a perfect summary of Dad's life. He'd been through a great deal and was still able to smile. I resolved to wear Dad's watch every Monday as a reminder of his life and the positive lessons he'd taught me. Dad had purchased that watch for just $2 in 1962, and it keeps perfect time to this day. As I wear it, I recall the many gifts he gave me through his buoyant optimism, gracious humility, unrelenting generosity, and effervescent joy. With this book, I'd like to share those gifts with you. I hope they'll become as powerful a force in your life as they have been in mine. As we reflect on the gift my father gave me, we'll learn together a positive attitude. First, you will discover why your attitude has so much power over your life. Part 1 of this book will show you why it's critical to gain control of your attitude in order to gain control of your life. You will learn how your attitude exerts power in 5 critical aspects of your life: your thoughts, your words, your actions, your habits, and your choices. This section will inspire you to change your thoughts and thereby change your life. Second, you'll learn what needs to change inside you. Part 2 introduces 7 critical choices that every person makes with regard to their attitude. whether they're aware of them or not. These 7 choices exert power in your life and shape it, for better or worse. You will see that happy, productive people choose a positive response in each of these 7 areas, resulting in 7 specific character traits: hope, humility, gratitude, generosity, kindness, joy, and perseverance. These are the gifts my Father gave me, and the gifts I hope to give you. In this section, you will become aware of the specific choices you need to make in your thinking to bring about change in your life. Third, you will learn how to implement the 7 positive choices in your life. Change doesn't come easily. Reversing years of negative thought and behavior patterns will take time and effort, but it can be done. In part 3, you will gain a clear action plan for the 3 contexts that make or break your attitude choices: your mind, your personal habits, and your relationships. In this section, you will be equipped to make positive attitude changes in your life. Are you ready? Let's get started. And scene. I love this book. I love this book. I do. We're stopping there. So that way, part 1 will have its own. That was just, like I said, sort of the intro. What's tomorrow? Saturday? We know how this goes. In the meantime, in between time, okay, love you.